think we're going to kind of center in a little bit as far as the lymphatic work, a little bit more on the core. Now, as lymphatics go, there's no, and in this kind of work, there's no, your body is your body. And so there's no like, oh, I'm going to spend time, like everybody wants to like, what workout class do you want to go to? Core. And it's just like, there is no core class, when it comes to lymphatics. There's the body, and it turns out. And so, but it turns out there's a lot of lymphatics in your core. There's the majority of your blood supply is literally in your abdomen, okay? And there's large veins because it's got to pump blood all the way down and all the way back up in your thighs. But not to get gross or anything, but I promise you, if you cut your belly open, they'd be problematic. And so, anyway, not because organs would squeeze out, because every fluid in your body would. And so you want to keep that closed. But because of that, it's also got a lot of organs. It's got a lot of lymphatics. There's a lot of blood flow. And there's a lot of actual superficial fascia. So the fascia in your back actually acts like a fan, and it comes up, and it comes way up into your upper back or your middle back. So people think this is all muscle. This is very little muscle back here. It's a lot of fascia. And so, and then fascia, remember, is a three-dimensional, multi-layer tissue that actually opens and closes and shifts. So in best practices, we want that to be fluffy, and we also want it to move. Now, when I say move, it doesn't move like this. It actually just barely, you wouldn't necessarily see it move. But fascia in and of itself, they've done weighted experiments on it where they've taken the fascia off of people that are no longer living, and they've attached it to like a weight, in a sense, hold it up and feel how much weight it can pull down on, and it's several hundred pounds of pull to it. Wow. So to think that you can just kind of stretch and move this very tense thing, the more it actually gets stretched, the tighter it gets, because it's three-dimensional. And kind of, remember that toy maybe you would use as a kid, and it's like a Chinese
the
finger kind of a thing, and you try to pull your fingers out, and you cannot. But if you kind of push in and kind of twist or whatever, you can slip one finger out at a time. That's kind of like fascia. You pull hard against it, and it's going to get harder and harder and harder, and it's going to hold on, because that's what it's designed to do. It's to protect and to stabilize you, not just to be rolled around or be discarded. So I don't know if I ever told you this, but fascia inside the body, what they used to do is when they'd open up a body to do cadaver work and that kind of stuff, they would just pull all the fascia out and throw it away. And then kind of like they called it packing, the packing of the material of the body. And in reality, it's not. It's a supportive protective tissue of the body between the layer of skin and the layer of muscle. And it actually has nerves, it has blood supply, it has a hydration thing. Hey, Beth. And then it has a lot of information that goes through it. So we want it to be springy and open. The more compressed it is, the less it can support us, because it doesn't have stretch to it. So the more stretch it has, the better it is. So the fascia that's in our stomach, and it's all over our body. It's in the lining, it's in our bones, it's all over our body. And actually, you could probably say the entire body is made of fascia. It just is in different order than, it is not that white tissue that you see actually if you go inside an anatomy. So the problem with anatomy books or looking into anatomy is they really just cut all that stuff out. You don't really get to see all that really cool stuff in there. So, but lymphatics in the body travels the same line as your nerves and as your blood flow. So if you've got crimped blood flow, you've got crimped lymphatics. If you've got a crimped nerve, you probably have crimped lymphatics. Mm-hmm. So if you've got pain, you've probably got a lymphatic problem. If you've got pressure building up, if you've got high blood pressure, if you've got inflammation, you've got a lymphatic problem. And I don't mean to say that then therefore you don't have to pay attention to those other things. So don't go to your doctor and go, yeah, I don't have to take that blood pressure medication. I just released my lymphatics. I'm fine. Thank you very much, doctor. Because my personal trainer told me so. So they'll be like, yeah, your personal trainer will just, whatever. Then, kind of a thing. So my point is that when you affect one thing, you can affect another. So it's like when you touch your hand, your brain knows it. It's not like this big mystery. And so when we touch the lymphatics, we touch our nervous system and we touch our blood flow system. And so, which really can only help to benefit us. And so we want to move the whole body as a system because the body, it moves as a system. So we're going to start with a real quick lymphatic release. We're going to do a foot treatment. We're going to do a little bit of mobility work. And then we're going to do a full, what's called an umbrella reset. And that umbrella reset, we're going to do it standing so you can see. But ideally, it is done laying down. Okay? So the reason why is because you're relaxed. Okay, and you can poke into yourself and feel things. Okay, when you're standing, you tend to be more rigid because you don't want to fall. But to get all of y'all on the ground and to get me on the ground or to get the bed out and put the camera up and all kinds of funny business, I'm just going to do it standing, but I do have some props. I do have a visual. Hopefully it'll work. Okay, so this is again something that you can do. People ask always, well, how often can I do this? You can do this as often as you can do it, okay? If you spend all your time doing lymphatic work, get a job, okay? Do something else. So you don't need to do it all the time, but you do need to do it enough. What is enough? It depends, okay? I would say if you're dealing with a chronic issue, you probably need to act like it's a chronic need. Just like you wouldn't just stop taking your medication, your vitamins, or drinking water, you wouldn't stop just doing lymphatic work. So every day you can do your lymphatic work, all that kind of stuff, and get your body just moving better. You might as well. It's literally free, okay? And then the other part of it is the only way you'll kind of know when you've done too much is if you immediately get a headache or nauseous or you just feel just really off from it, back off. Go start and just do from your head, from your sternum to your head, then add back in the sternum, head, and the body, then do the full umbrella. The full umbrella, done well, is a reset to the body. And you can really kind of make some changes in the system by doing it. But you can also kind of unearth some things too. Okay? So, there's treasures out there. But sometimes you got to dig for them a little bit. All right. So let's start just with a simple, Patty goes away. So let's just start with the simple lymphatic. Just start with that left collarbone. You can rub against that collarbone all the way to the shoulder and all the way back. Pat 5 times and pull down 3. 2 and 3. Other side. Just a nice, quick, brisk rub. Kind of count to 5, somewhere between 5 and 10. And then pat 5 times. And then pull across 3. And then through your chest. So for a lot of women, again, the reason why this is gunky is because this is breast tissue actually all the way through here. Women have a lot of lymphatics in here. Pat 5 times and then pull up and in. And I might be the only one who can answer this thing, but realizing that as you go through menopause, or if you have not gone through menopause, this girl will always have her period, I think, then this can get really clumpy in here when you go into your cycle. But realize you can have cycles even when you don't have a cycle anymore. Pat 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And pull up and over. Good. Just your belly. Good. Pat 5 times. And pull up. 1, 2, and 3. And then inner thigh. So kind of notice we did kind of every other spot. Just makes for a nice quick treatment. Pat 5 times. And then pull up, and pull up. Get your large soft ball. If you don't have it, grab it. Place it on the ground. We're going to do a mini softball foot treatment. So we're just using the large soft ball. Take your foot and then place it right over, right foot or left foot. It doesn't particularly matter. Shift side to side. Feel that space underneath your foot. Let that ball kind of find its little way around there. Go ahead and pause, press, and find some even weight. Take your arms up, take your arms down, roll yourself forward, and roll yourself back. Move the ball to position point 5. Press in a little bit deeper and move that ball back and forth. So you're gliding all the way back to your heel and all the way back to the arch. And then one more time to the heel. Make sure your standing leg is relaxed so you're not stiff in the glutes. And then back to position point 5. Pause, put about 50% more pressure, and then just shear back and forth. Pause again. Bring the ball to position point 2 at the toe. Rinse. So multiple times this week, other than you people have asked me, oh man, I woke up in the middle of the night and I couldn't fall back asleep. What should I do? It's just so frustrating. It's like, all right, here's 3 things you can do very simply. And they cost you maybe a little bit of money, but you probably already have them in the house. Okay, first thing you can do is get up. Don't lay there in bed and wait for yourself to fall asleep. Especially, I mean, if you roll over and you slightly wake up or you have to go to the bathroom, go back in bed and just go back to bed. Okay, pause. Bring those feet back to parallel again. Just let your shoulders rest and know the difference between the right and left sides. Take the ball to position point 1 underneath the second foot. Second thing you can do is you can roll your feet. Just roll them. Just do a real quick treatment. Don't get into it too big. Don't try to wake yourself up. I mean, you're already woken up. Just go in and just do your best, even just shifting, grounding side to side. The next thing you can do is do what's the 3 pillars. Diaphragmatic breathing for about a minute, moving your eyes and your head for about a minute, and do it in control, and then do some sort of cross-crawling motion. Pause, take your arms up, take your arms down, and then roll, and then bring yourself up. And here's the big one. This is the fun one. Is move the ball to position point 5, begin to glide. Is get some pink Himalayan salt. That's the cost. That's the one that's going to cost you a little bit. Put enough to just cover the tip of your index finger. Put it in the center of your tongue. Let it sit there, I don't know, about 10 seconds or so. Wash it down with just enough water to rinse it out of your mouth, and then go to bed. Oh. The interesting thing about pink Himalayan salt, it has minerals in it, plus salt, like pink Himalayan salt, sodium chloride, it actually is a relaxer for the muscles. And it will relax your muscles enough, and you're going to shear, to soften, and let you go to sleep. Very often, with the reason why we wake up, because our muscles get tense for some reason. Maybe it's too cold, maybe we're in the wrong position, maybe we're thinking too much, whatever's going on. Just a tiny bit of salt can relax all of it. Now, this is not how you take the salt, and you don't put the salt on your French fries. You have to put the salt on your finger, put it on your tongue, drink it down with a tiny bit of water. Pause, and then rinse. Because if you take too much water, you'll end up peeing in about 45 minutes or less. You don't want to do that again. But just let it set into you. It actually works because we are an electrical system, and sodium is an electrical current conductor and actually can help relax those muscles. Good. And so it can help those muscles settle back in. Muscles are made of fiber. Those fibers pull and they come back in, and then they rest. And the sodium is what helps them to do that. Good. Go ahead and pause. Move that ball off to the side. Bring your feet back to parallel again. Bring your shoulders up, back, and around. Lift up all 10 toes. See if you have some bounce on those feet. And then drop all 10 toes. Good. And then go ahead and open your eyes. Good. So starting from here, placing your hands on your belly. Bring your shoulders up, back, and around. And just begin to look up as you're breathing. And look down. And again, look up first. And look down. Keep going. I'll probably start talking. Look up. It doesn't make for good video for me to be silent. And down. Because then you just focus in on, I think I have a stain on my shirt or something like that. Look up. And look down. One more time. Eyes up first. Let the head follow. Look up. And look down. Remember, in eye and head movements, you're never trying to look for pain. You're just moving your head to where it can go. Look to your left. Move your eyes. Look back to your right. Move your eyes into your left. Move your eyes into your right. Notice if you're holding your breath at any one point. Even when you come into a turn, you're kind of bracing just because maybe something will come. And then turn your left. And then once again to your right, and then to your left. And then we're going to cross crawl, right hand to left knee, left hand to right knee. So remember, cross crawl can be anything. It can be right hand to left shoulder. So if this is difficult or you're having a challenging day balancing, do less. You always have the opportunity to do more. Very often it's very difficult to backtrack after you've already set more into motion. And so you sometimes just need to start out with less. Do 2 more, just like this. Last one. Good. Bring your hands up over your head and just keep moving. If you can. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you okay today?
No.
Oh, okay. If that's not working, then
no, it's
don't.
okay.
You
It's
sure?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It just kind of came out of.
Kind of came out of nowhere?
Like a couple hours ago.
Oh, okay. Okay. 2 more.
Not really.
And then last one. Good. So everybody's going to keep their head here except for some people that I'm looking straight at. And you're going to rotate. As best you can, you're going to rotate. So notice I'm not pulling my elbow down to my knee. I'm just turning my head and my torso. 2 more. And last one. Good. Take your arms down and then make sure you lift your back heel up and you're rotating again. So I'm not moving my spine. If you can see, I'm not rotating my spine. I'm rotating my hip joint. And when you do this, if you're having a hard time with your spine, be very specific about your hips. And then if you can, relax your arms, Marla. If you can.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you can't, that's fine.
No, I can't. I
Okay.
tell myself to do it.
Yeah.
I gotta move.
2 more. And last one, bring your hands to the tops of your knees, or thighs rather, and you're hinging. And then stand back up. So I want the movement initiated actually at the hips. So this is very like knees rocking. It's stretching your hips, your hamstrings, and your lower back. Press down into your hands, only enough to feel that contact. It's a nice contact. And you can even use your fingertips to rub your thighs. Actually, it's a great resource to pull up some blood flow. Down and up. Down and up. Do 3 more. Push back and come up. Push back and come up. 1 more time. Push back and hold. So you're here in a kind of a hinge position. From here, you're going to take your right arm up and then take your right arm through. Take your right arm up and take your right arm through. And up and through and up. Notice I'm moving my hips a little bit more as we go. Reach up and through. 1 more time. Reach up and through. Good. Other side. Reach up first and through. Notice I'm also using my head. Reach up and through. Breathing. Reach up and through. 1 more time. Reach up and through. Come back up. Roll the shoulders up, back, and around. Elbows stay straight. The reason why your elbows need to stay straight is because when you don't, you bend them, you don't really roll your shoulders. Instead of looking like a Tyrannosaurus Rex or something like that. So roll your shoulders. You have these big bones in your back called your scapula. And those scapula need to move up and around and up and around. So they're not actually going in a circle. They're just moving up and down. But they're kind of coming up and down kind of like this. But if those don't move, you get very tight in the outside edges of the shoulder. You've got a lot of small muscles that come into your shoulder and your chest, and you've got to move those. So you're going to rotate your shoulders in opposition. You've got about 3, 2, and last one. Take both arms up. Take both arms down. 1 more time. Take both arms up, and then take both arms down. So that was about 15 minutes, not even that, of movement from your footwork to your breath work to just a little bit of mobility, but all standing, but give you the opportunity to just feel your body moving and just kind of get yourself kind of blood flow and all that kind of stuff without even getting onto the ground at all. All right, so this is my very limited ability at drawing in a very short time, which you may not be able to see. So this is the body, okay? Yeah, not a scientist, okay? So this will not be used, so don't take a screenshot of this because you don't want to mistake this for something that's dying, like you or anything like that. But it's kind of like me because I've got blue on. So you're going to see this. You can also see this. I don't know how close I can get to it. Can you see it in the camera?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Kind of? Okay. So in this, what you're going to be doing, I know it's also got a shine on it. We are going to go down this whole front line. That's the navel right there. And we're going to work a clock around the navel. So a clock has 12 and 3 and 6 and 9 and so on. Okay? So we're going to be using this thing as like a clock. And we're going to be doing kind of patting and pressing techniques and so on. So the key is,
I'm going to go down.
that's totally fine. If you want to lay down, you can lay down if you want to. I'm going to stand up and show you so I don't have to move the cameras all around. I'm not lifting my shirt up. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So you could do it laying down if you wanted to at home, and you can have your head up. It doesn't matter if your head is up or down.
Okay.
So however you want to lay down. So we're going to start in, and we're going to do redo kind of a little bit deeper of a lymphatic release. So we're going to start back at the collarbone and go through your collarbone here, underneath the collarbone, then over the top of the collarbone. And I want you to notice and see if there's any gunk in there. And if you press and you're pressing light, go a little bit heavier and press a little bit heavier. And you're probably going to find some gunk in there. Okay? And then you're going to pat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're going to pull straight down. 2 and 3. Let's do the other side. Again, underneath. There may be some gunk in there. If you get right up underneath that collarbone, there could be a lot. Okay? This is, if you don't feel it, more than likely you're being nice to yourself. And so, because most people have a tremendous amount of gunk in their collarbone. That's where everything's coming in and out of on both sides. Go ahead and rub a little bit faster. And then 5 pats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can do this laying down or sitting up, just like I am. We're going to go down. So you've got the collarbones coming into the sternum. So the sternum's this big, long breastbone, people call it. And so you're going to start right at the center. Okay, with both fingers, you're going to go up and down, side to side. Go down about a finger's distance, in a sense, down your sternum. Up and down, side to side. You're just moving the skin. You're not moving your hands. Does that make sense? I'm not moving my hands back and forth. I'm moving the skin back and forth. Then I'm going to go a little bit deeper. Up and down, side to side. A little bit deeper. If you have a bra on right now, it's a little bit more tricky. Up and down, side to side. When you get about the center line, your nipple line, it gets real gunky in there again. Right there is usually pretty tight. That actually is a referral pain from the back side of the body, lungs, those types of things. Pause and then go down a little bit deeper, up and down, side to side. We're going past the xiphoid process, which is that hook that's at the base of the rib cage. And you're going to do up and down, side to side. It could get gunky in there too. Up and down, side to side. Keep going, up and down, side to side, until we get to the center of the belly button. Up and down, side to side, up and down, side to side. You're right at the belly button. Rub the belly button. That is your biggest nerve bundle of your entire body. You know why? That's how you were attached. Okay? And for a lot of people, it's very tender. It's got ligamentous structure that attaches all throughout the body. Okay, so from there, I'm going to show it on this, so when you see it in the video, you'll be able to see it again. You start at the navel, and you're going to go up and down and side to side. And like a clock, I started at 12. Then I'm going to go right at the edge of my navel, up and down, side to side. And then I'm going to go at 3 o'clock, up and down, side to side. 9 o'clock, up and down, side to side. And then I'm going to hit over here at 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Up and down, side to side. Up at 10 o'clock, up and down, side to side. Down over here to 7 o'clock. Up and down, side to side. See, I've now erased almost the whole board. And then again, up and down, side to side. So you're going to find that clock, and then we're going to go back up the midline of the body again. So we did that clock. So for me, I'm just going to go over it real quick again. You want to start at the very edge of the navel, right here at 12. Then your next spot is 6, then 3, then 9, then 4, and then 10, and then 7, and then over here at like 2. Then we're going to go up and down, side to side, up and down, side to side, all the way back up. Up and down, side to side, up and down, side to side, all the way back up the sternum. Why do we want to do an umbrella reset? We want to touch as many points on the body as we can. So all the way back up the sternum. So again, if we're finished at the navel, up and down, side to side, up and down, up and down, up and down, side to side. It could feel very gunky in there. Up and down, side to side, up and down. And your fingers may start getting sore too, just so you know. Up and down, side to side. That's one of the nice things about having someone do it to you. Now, we're going to go over to the left side first. We're going to go down these intercostals, which is the spaces in between the ribs. Start underneath the collarbone right here. Very tender, very typically, right at the collarbone. So right here, right at the collarbone. So I've got that lump right there, just inside that spot right there. Up and down, side to side, up and down, side to side. You're finding those intercostal bones, and you're going in between, not necessarily on, but more on the musculature. And I'm on the left side of my body. It may be appearing like I'm on the right, but I'm on the left. Now I'm just passing my xiphoid process. I'm getting into my belly, and I'm going down. All the way down, and now I'm at my belly button. So the first one I did the center of the belly button, I rubbed the center of my belly button. Then I went, the first pass we went around, it was right on the edge, just like when you're right on the edge of the pool, you're right on the edge. Now you're gonna be about 1 inch or so off the edge. So here's my belly button, and here I'm gonna be poking with my finger. So now you're gonna go 1 inch off the edge, second round. Now we're gonna go around here. About 1 inch off the edge. Up and down, side to side. Go opposite side. Up and down, side to side. Where I'm going to go down to my 6. Up and down, side to side. Up to my 12. Up and down, side to side. Down to my 4. Up and down, side to side. Across to my 10. Up and down, side to side. Over to my 7. Up and down, side to side, and up to my 2. Does that make sense? I'm going to end on my 2 because that's what I'm going to go up to that side, and then I'm going to go back up the body. And again, it may be gunky in there. Don't worry about it. You're probably having some tender spots in there. You're going to like, leave a tender moment alone. And over to the side. We're going to go to the right side. Intercostal muscles from underneath that collarbone. So you start at the collarbone, go right underneath it. That's where you're going to start. So it's right underneath the collarbone, up and down, side to side, through those intercostal muscles. Right there, I've got a little bit of just a whole, like a family of yuck in there. And side to side, up and down, side to side, up and down, side to side. Now I did my second round. Now I'm going to go a little bit further out, just another click out. And I'm going to do the same thing. Remember, I'm way down here in my belly button. So I'm going to start at 6. So I'm down about 3 inches. So I'm about 3 inches away from my belly button. Up and down, side to side. Then I'm going to go up again. You can find your belly button if you want. I'm going to go about 2 or 3 inches above that. Up and down, side to side, to my outside edge, up and down, side to side, to 9, up and down, side to side. Let's just start a Kylie. I'm down at 4. 7. Up and down, side to side. It doesn't 100% matter, but you always just want to go crossed. I try to end efficiently, but sometimes I don't. Up and down, side to side, and then I'm ending at 10. Up and down, side to side, and then do it again, back up the body. So think of this as the umbrella down here. This is the handle of the umbrella. up and down, side to side on this whole right side. And you can be very slow and very specific with this, and then you're going to pause, take a big deep breath, and then again, take a big deep breath. Remember, the number one thing that moves lymph is your breath. The second thing is actual movement moves lymph. So you're going to take 2 fingers. You've got your iliac crest right here. You're going to take your fingers and you're going to pull them up. You're going to pull from your iliac crest up towards your belly. Just grab a scoop of flesh and pull up. Take a big deep breath. Inhale. Pull up a little bit more. And then release. Then go to the other side. And then you're going to pull the flesh up. Kind of dig in there just a little bit. Don't hurt yourself. Just kind of pull up. Like you're pulling all that skin and flesh up. And then release. To your pancreas side, which is your left side. So if you're laying down, it's a little bit easier because your body, you know how it does that. So you're going to take your fingers and you're going to pull down. So just take your fingers, press it underneath your ribs right there, and you're going to pull down. Exhale, and exhale, pull, and then release. Then you're going to take the other side. So this is my liver side, which is my right side. Get up underneath that liver and then pull down. Take a big deep breath and pull down again and release. And then take my thumbs right at the center, be gentle, and then you're going to pull down. So I'm pulling from here with my thumbs and I'm pulling down. It's like a hooking motion. Down, take a big deep breath and release. Take your arms up and then take your arms down. And again, take your arms up, and then take your arms down. Good. So, you can take a seat if you want. So, that is called an umbrella reset. And I was like, I don't know, didn't do anything special to me right this second. But what it does is it opens up all these gummed up areas. Also, standing up is a more challenging way to do it because things aren't as relaxed. I'm staying stiffer just to hold myself up. So, laying down with your knees bent is how you want to do it on the ground. Okay, so again, laying down, you always start with just that upper body kind of lymph release all the way down to your belly. And then we're going to do, then you would go straight down through the center, do the clock right at the very rim of the belly button, then go back up, go down your right side, your left side, and then go around the belly button about 1 inch out, all those clock spots. Remember, you go diagonally across or cross pattern the clock spots. Go back up, over, down the right side, go a little bit wider out, same thing, go across, come back up. Then you've got the 4 corners, and then you've got the center and you pull down, okay? And give yourself the opportunity to breathe into each section. The longer you spend to a certain degree, the more you're gonna find reflexive movement. Remember, your tissue is not supposed to be in pain. If you're in pain someplace, especially if you don't know it and then you touch it, you're like, ow, that hurts. I mean, if you pinch it and hurt yourself, that's one thing. But if you touch your belly and you find it there's nothing in your belly that should be tender. And it should be mushy. It shouldn't be rigid in any one spot. So kind of like pretty much a lot of times they don't do this anymore. They used to do this abdominal check. The doctor used to feel your belly and see if any of the belly was hard or stiff. And then they could know you're backed up or you have lymph problems or, you have an infection in there or something like that. So you want to have kind of mushy belly, okay? And if it's tender at any one spot, like if you grab an area and it's really tender, that's a problem. That should be really just not specifically, you can feel it, but it shouldn't hurt, okay? And then same thing goes for underarms, your collarbones, your neck, all that gunk that gets in your everything. All of that stuff you might feel it, but it shouldn't ever be sharp, tender, or feel like bound or gunked up kind of a thing. So when you get the sense of how your body's supposed to be, which is basically just tissue touching, then that's how it should be all over. But when we have these hot spots or tender spots, we know that there's backup of something. And it could be lymph, it could be nerve, it could be blood flow. But more than likely, it's one of the 3, if not all 3, that are backed up or tight or sore or tired. Okie doke. So go ahead and come back up if you can. Good. We got through that actually a little bit faster than I thought we were going to get done. So we're going to finish with just a little bit of how you feeling, okay?
Yeah.
You just kind of feel a little off, back hurt?
And now my back.
Okay.
Thank God I'm getting my injection tomorrow.
Okay.
It's been good for
So long and then all of a sudden whatever.
today.
Okay. So just take your arms up and overhead reach.
Ooh.
And exhale, arms down. And again, arms up and overhead reach. And arms down. Once more, take your arms up and overhead to reach. And then arms down. Good. Just look your eyes up. Look with your eyes and your head down. Bring your head center. Look with your eyes to your right. Look with your eyes and your head to your left. Look with your eyes to the right corner. And then down to the left. And then up to the left corner. And then down to the right. And then just head center, pause. And just roll your eyes really big. And roll them the other way. Good. And we today are done. So give yourself the opportunity to feel your body again. Always. Moving better is about feeling better. Remember, it always feels good to feel good, but we have to check in with what's going on. Because so often we get used to what it feels to feel bad and we forget the difference. So give yourself that opportunity. Give yourself the opportunity to do less than more sometimes, and be proud of yourself and happy for yourself when you have some good moments that your body's feeling great too. All right, guys, I will see you on Saturday. We've got Saturday and Wednesday, I believe, is our last two sessions. And then maybe Saturday, we have one more Saturday on top of that. Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. And then we are done. And then we'll just have a party at the end or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, make sure you ask questions. Make sure that you text me, call me, or let me know what's going on with you. I love to hear the good stuff. I love also to hear when you're stuck because I can help you possibly get unstuck as well.